It's Christine Lampard, Linda Robson, Kelly Brook and Nadia Sawala.
It's battling Nicole.
I like Kelly, look.
You're so iconic, individually and like, would just come up to you and just be like, can we have your autograph? Approach to donate to charities. You know, there is sometimes that kind of thing in the back of your head that's like, well, where is this money at? I think it's everyone's biggest fear that you've done something and then to see that it's just been so disrespected in that way, just kind of confirmed. If, for example, I had like something go around on our for like the local playground and I donated for this slide, and I have to say, on my dog walk every day after that for the next 6 months, I kept looking out for that slide. And it's like, and I hate myself for it because you should give. Because there are, you know, there are people that are out there doing genuine good, and then you do, unfortunately, have these con men that are setting up charities in people's names and pocketing the money. I mean, what are we supposed to think?
Greed involved, or if there's money involved. And I find it really difficult.
Better with this, you know, he improved.
I
We
know.
felt so safe. Yeah.
Regardless of clinic coming up in just a moment. You can't shift it right now.
I had that flu over Christmas. I was in bed and I thought I was out the woods. And then on trainers by the door, and I said, I feel a bit run down. I'm not sure I've got it in me. And he gave me that look, and it's tipped me over the edge. I'm right back to where I was. I've got the most. And I thought, God, nothing's working. I can't shift it. So what I did was chopped up an onion, started frying it in a pan, and I stuck it in a sauce.
Gone because
raw onion.
Yeah,
But this is
that's
the
why I'm still
problem.
coughing. And I think
it really does have properties that will. Does the
it's so
salt already have to
interesting.
be?
to admit, that is the video I saw, and that's why I did it. On any like homeopathic website, I watched that video, and I was like, I'm just going to go in back then.
Drop of hot water.
Yes,
a drop of
You
hot
see, I
whiskey.
don't believe.
And things like that.
Well, we've got
and overnight.
Absolutely.
My husband's French.
Yeah.
What for? I assume so.
Been a while.
Yeah.
But then she
Avoid
goes
the
on to say,
garlic.
also in the hips at night time and in children,
Some hot water.
time and hot water.
Stink by the end of this. I'll be well, but I'll be smelly.
Something please don't.
No, I don't think so. I think you should be completely honest in a relationship.
You get that sense from her then.
And it must be so hard in that Hollywood landscape just to kind of... I mean, I saw... And it said women over 40 smashing it. But she's like 62. And I thought, why can't it say women over 60 smashing it? So I do feel there's just this denial that women age, like no one wants 40.
As well as
Much on this show as well.
we have to the front of many's a magazine. Have you ever felt that kind of?
So I've gotten older and put on weight. I feel like there's always that desire to be the best version of yourself. And sometimes you look back at maybe 20 or 30 it was at that time, but as a fit and healthy now. But I do feel like when I first started my modelling career, it was kind of at the end of that trend and fashion where being really, really skinny was really fashionable. And as a was pressure, but then also at the same time, we had that kind of rise in the lad mags, women on the cover of magazines. And that's when I started kind of appearing on the covers of FHM and Maxim. And it seemed that it was just more for the men loved curvy women. So there was this real kind of divide, that crossover into being a more commercial fee. Remember this, like my first photo shoot, actually quite a few photo shoots I did after that, which were for female-led magazines. I won't name which ones, but I'd always turn up a bunny rabbit or a little puppy or a kitten. The question was that if they put me on the cover of a magazine, because I had boobs and I was curvy, that women might deem it too, they would definitely like the animal. Because I couldn't understand it, and that was the reason.
It's just...
We've never really had like a woman with boobs on the cover of a magazine, but we'll give it a go, and if it doesn't, just in case. And I was always in pink and like very covered up. I was on a shoot the other day, and I had a shawl in my dress down, and I was like, I've got good legs for a 45-year-old, and I was putting my skirt up, and not ashamed to be a curvier woman, but that there's still that desire from young women to just strive to be such a sad journey that they're going to be on, and I just feel I don't know where it comes from.
Exactly, and at stage as well. So what?
Yeah, inward looking, isn't it? And I just think when you're younger, you are very inward looking. You're very insecure. You're questioning. Yeah, if you just start as you get older, you realise that no one really cares what you look like, and you start looking outward into other things. You have other interests. So much healthier.
Absolutely.
No, all that 39 million went straight to the NHS. He was and I think to remove his name feels like a punch. It was his legacy. This is what he did.
The kindness of your heart to help somebody less fortunate, kind of neighbourhood group WhatsApp, and it was like, just to buy a slide. But where is that slide that I've just paid for?
Because some of the bigger charities that I've worked with, I just think, sort of young lads, and they were trying to stop people to talk about knife crime. They had people just going like this, just like that, not even just listening. And I thought, he started to tell me, and then asked him another question, that were just walking past and ignoring him. He'd had an amazing journey. He'd gone through his whole life with this group and gone to university. You know, if you made that double, you'd help this child. Yeah, like more.
It's got to be raw.
And it brings down the inflammation and all that sort of thing. But
You're very run down.
Not with his chest.
No, we've got...
I love ASAP. I think immediately, did you know? So I just cut it. Shame in our period blood, shame in menopause. You know, God, goes, it looks like you're in the bargain basement, because I had so many places where I've taken difference from a long-term relationship, and in a minute, big bums will be out. And then you've got to... I accept, like you say, this is my genetic... Be as hell trying to get a size 18 bum, that's... It's like a syrup that pours through.
Yeah.
Because I'm a present germ.
You're making me cough.
It's
Yeah,
so
me
good.
too.
For family's decision and indeed yours. But what we want...
I wish
you did.
You're a bit of a legend.
I wish you did. And then, really naughty.
Yeah.
We till George Michael leaves. So we went to the bar, and as we go, don't touch George. Yeah, and I never say no. It just takes...
It's back then, though,
I
she-
also want to talk about her career times back in the day. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously, you're there for her and she's there for you. And it'll always sort of be...
Well, my mum had dementia. I mean, loads of us know people. 1 in 2...
I loved all those shows. didn't they?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And, you know, it is. It's so good to hear that you've got... It's always very difficult for anyone that loves anyone going through it. So, yeah, thank you for sharing.
Thanks.
Clearly sending all of our love for all of you, obviously.
Without having those feelings and those thoughts.
There's nothing wrong with questioning it.
But you fundraising events and a lot of PR around them, sometimes to trying to raise money for certain causes.
So I love to work with this.
Flash, yeah.
But I think also it's like you're so lovely, because I actually learned a lot. I think it's normal and it's right to question things.
He is a hero.
He is a hero for what
He
did.
always will be,
Yeah.
irrespective of...
Which was horrendous. The whole week, terrible cold. I keep coughing. I'm reading all sorts of things.
Yeah. Bring up the PHLEGM word.
Yeah. No,
Symptoms, they don't actually deal with, like, cough mixture just...
Back to those times.
Yeah.
Because they knew what they were doing.
in the whiskey. I think they just soothes...
Stop training for the London
Definitely you
Marathon.
must. Jeremy!
Because
Yeah, there's no getting
But are
out.
there some
I'm
good
gonna try it all.
Irish ones? Are there some good Irish...
Because it's passed down through the generations.
Right.
Proper white, yeah.
Exactly. And the one thing for a lot of the cures is you might go, I love
garlic
all of
cloves
those things.
up your...
Garlic clove.
I mean, urea. Also, lots of people...
Are you old school when it comes
old
to
school.
remedies?
Whenever we went...
Touch, actually. Lots of people said, as long as the... Yeah, but needs a cuddle from her husband.
Dirt, lather and essential oils, but...
to try out.
this topic.
I know, sorry. Doctors, people, OK? It's an officially confirmed anything, but it did...
Oh, God, but I wish they were here. That's the kind... But I mean, and you had it on Clapton Common.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's an old school proper party to celebrate. They just did it and
You're not
carried
an-
on. Helly,
Yeah,
brilliant.
So
brilliant.
branded. It's like she's got
She's
the
just in
ability.
her power, just own it. Demi Moore on the cover of a magazine last week to accept that
Yeah.
you're still killing it
Unbelievable.
over...
Like on television, went, don't keep telling everyone going through the menopause.
And that's over decades.
Get on and manage everything and not saying... Amazing. Why should we have to keep the hair? I've got the sticky, because you can't get the sticky off, can you?
Really?
Well, I really
Yeah.
liked her, yeah.
Oh,
my God.
boy.
I
At least
can't believe
not
she's
for a
on
little
tomorrow. As you know, she's one of my absolute favourite people.
She's great.
Yeah.
Great. Constantly be a pressure on all of us. Men are stressed to go to these extremes to look at.
A 45-year-old woman, I feel pretty... Started booking a lot of work, and I stayed.
Yeah, funny.
And it took me many, many years to make sexy. So if they didn't like me on my body, it's just
So you literally want to
extraordinary.
slip your hand in-
Work will just like slip this little bunny rabbit in there, just put a skirt on, and the editor was like, "Please, that it's just not genetically possible. It's just such."
It's like I say to girls, you know, just confident, or I've got to love my body, because that's a huge mountain to climb if you don't feel that way. Try and go to a polar opposite, you know.
In who you are, how you
Echo
look.
chamber.
Yeah.
Ladies, thank you, audience.
Just to say that we touched a legend, you know. And then another
And he was
night-
fine with
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah, and we were in a bar one night, and George Michael...
Did you just sit there watching him, or did you?
both
Yeah.
to this very day, Lindsay. You're both incredibly appreciated. And of course we are this charity that was set up in a moment of love.
What I would feel is like, say, you know, the charity...
Your worst fear, really. So, I mean...
Well, I think that's the problem, though, like you say. Of course, charities that sound a little bit edgy, it just, it's so unfortunate.
I went, all right, you're also really good at what you do.
We've all had the sniffles over Christmas, just as I said that.
Me too. One day, my husband looked at me and said, are we going to be training for the marathon today? Put my...
Onion small, put it in a...
All to go to the pharmacy, and of course you have to sometimes, but and there's so many others in.
I made it up as I went along, I didn't go...
There's 2 people from Belfast in the audience today, and I'm hoping they're or like little warts, you know, when you're a little child, or all these do it's like a little prayer almost, and you're not. You might say, okay, well, it's power of the mind. I'll take that. If
for your chest. What fun! What
malignancy maybe as well.
Well, that's it, and that goes back really to what you've been. don't fly high. Literally, could she simply have a nasty paper cut? But did you feel the need to have those little moments together?
It's just I get too excited.
That's sheer happiness. It's the want of.
It was romance all the way, right from when all cheaper.
Yeah.
Because the memories are still there.
Like
or women, or just women.
Or just women, but like...
People will sort of have had that conversation, or sometimes feel you to feel like it's sort of, it's a secret.
Shame.
Yeah. Yeah. What is that? See, that's why that book clearly is where it resonates. 40 women, that's more than I thought. And of course, it hasn't really changed over the years. We've all felt various...
10 years ago, and you think, was that the best version of myself? Model, they were the only models that were booking jobs. So there were gays that women loved skinny women, but men, and they would always have like either like a fluffy... I've always been really confident in my body and...
Kind of heroin chic, as it was nicknamed, then suddenly a curve.